and welcome to this gadgets and electronics importation workshop. I'm sorry this video is coming late. It's partly because we're undecided on the platform to use, because I wanted this to be a live session where I teach and people are able to ask questions real time. But since the timing does not suit everybody, I just had to start recording this evening, and it will make other videos to come in late because I just had my slides ready to do an online session, which is what I usually do. But we'll just try. So what will happen is that while I'm talking and anything is anything is confusing to you, you can just go to our WhatsApp group and drop your questions. So let's move to the introduction. So basically, this class is going to tell you everything about gadgets from China and gadgets from UK and US. And like I promised, I added Dubai to the list, which I will teach last. So the class may be more than 3 days to accommodate everything that we promised to teach. So this first part, I have to be making the videos half. So this first part will focus on phones. Then the second part will be about laptops, solar system. We'll do it like that, so that one part does not take off the rest of the time. So I welcome you once again to the gadgets importation training from China. We're starting with China. So in this class, we are not just going to be talking about buying gadgets. We'll be learning how to buy them correctly, because honestly, in this gadgets business, profit is not made when you sell the gadgets. Your profit is protected when your customer receives the gadget and when you buy properly. So many people enter into these gadgets importation thinking that it's just like a normal, like buy clothes, fashion items, ship down, buy at cheap rates, ship it down and sell. But no, gadgets don't really work that way, because two phones can look identical, but they have completely different market value, and if anything goes wrong in one, you'll see that you have lost it. So this training is designed to help us to remove guessing whenever we are buying gadgets. It will help us to remove guessing from our decisions, to help us to better understand the things that we'll check before we make payments for any gadgets, to help us to learn how suppliers actually operate, to help us to know why some gadgets sell faster, why they have higher resale value, and why others are just stuck there. People look at it and say, no, I don't want this. So this class is going to be telling us all of that, so you not make expensive mistakes. It will also help you to make money from gadgets business. Gadgets is a very high selling business that you can really make money from if it is done the right way. So without wasting time, let's continue. So we are going to first of all start by learning some basic stuff about gadgets, and we'll try to talk about them one after the other. So for gadgets, the particular gadget that usually have issue is iPhone. Even though some things I'll be mentioning here are general and peculiar to all gadgets, but iPhone is where we really used to have issue. So most things I'll be talking about will be about it, but you can still apply it in other gadgets that you are buying. So whenever a supplier quotes a price of a phone, they're not only just quoting the model name. It's not just this is Samsung, this is iPhone. No, it doesn't end on that. The price of any gadget depends on several other factors that we're talking about. These factors can be the grade of the phone. That's if you're buying a used phone. Used phone come in grades. It can be the grade of the phone. It can be the condition of the phone. It can be the storage size of the phone. It can be the region. It can be the battery. It can be the version. It can be the battery health. So if you're just meeting a supplier and you say, I need iPhone 11, the supplier automatically knows that you have just made the supplier know that you don't know about gadgets, and they can in turn just give you anything they want. So gadgets, electronics business is a business of specification. It's not a business of, oh, this one is fine, put it to my cart. No, you have to know what you are doing, and if you know what you are doing, it will help you not to make mistakes. So let's first of all talk about the conditions of phone that you'll be seeing when buying from China. So under this condition, we have the brand new phones. These brand new phones are sealed from the factories. That's never been opened by anybody. So they're purely brand new, untouched. How they are made from the factory. So, and they're usually higher in price because they've never been used. So the second type of phone that you'll be meeting, they are called the refurbished phones. So these refurbished phones are phones that have had faults. They have had faults before, and they were repaired and restored to working condition. They've had faults before and they were fixed. That's just what refurbished phone means. It does not mean that they're not original iPhone. No, they're also original iPhone. So just that some parts of the phone got bad in the past and they were fixed. It could be screen, it could be anything. It could be, if it is higher models, it could be the back glass, whatever that is fixed in it has made it refurbished. So the third kind of phones to be meeting when importing from China are those ones we call used phones. Used phone. These are just phones that have been previously owned by other people, or phones that people just use. Even if you just buy it today and decide to sell it the next week, it is still a used phone. So used phones, and it's because of this that we have grades under the used phone, because some people may just buy a phone today and next week they've given it up for sale. You cannot compare it to somebody that have used the phone for like 5 years and decided to sell it, or like a year. So used phones have different grades. Used phones have different grades. So let's talk about the grading system of used phones. There is one that we call the grade A plus plus. Grade A plus plus. These grade A plus plus phones they're just so clean. They're almost new phones. They come in a clean body with little or no scratch, with little or no sign of use. They are very, 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 very clean. In fact, if without being told, you will not know that they are not new. Mostly this grade A plus plus, they are from testers. You know, there are some guys that it must not even be testers. Some people just buy a phone to look at it because they have money. They just look at it. It does not match whatever they need. It's still almost new. They'll just give it up for sale. So all the phones in this class, all these new, slightly used phones are what we call grade AA plus. They usually don't have any issue. They usually don't have any issue. So we also have grade A. Grade A still falls into that category, but it means that it was neatly used, very, very neatly used. It's still very, very presentable. It's still very presentable. That's grade A. Everything is still working. Then we have grade B. These ones you can now start seeing the visible faults of the phone. It can be a little crack at the back, a little crack at the screen, anywhere. So these are grades B. We also have grade C. Grade C, you begin to see that the fault that it has is obvious. Some people even grade up to D and E. So it all depends on you. It's just left for you to know these things. So for this grade, I would say grading is mostly a factor of the outlook, because you may see a phone that is called grade C, but the internal performance may still be good, just that the body is no longer okay. But Nigeria, so when you are buying for them, you have to bring clean phones. If not, they'll start complaining, especially those ones that will come and tell you that they need used phones. So another thing you need to know about phone is the carrier. About iPhone, this carrier is peculiar to iPhone. A carrier is spelled as CARRIER. So it is the mobile network. It is the mobile network company the phone was originally sold under. For example, you see some iPhones, they'll now come and write iPhone 13, iPhone 12, AT&T, iPhone 13, Verizon, iPhone 13, T-Mobile. So all these names are different companies. They're just like network providers, just like we have MTN, Glo here. These are network providers in these countries that these phones were made for. What I mean by these phones were made for them is that they can only accept network from these provided, like these companies that are in contract with iPhone. So these phones were made or restricted to their own network. It's just like MTN going to meet iPhone and they have a contract. They say these so it's just like MTN going to meet Apple and said, please make me this range of phones, and it's just they're going to be limited to only MTN network. So these, you should know about carriers. It's not all iPhones that are restricted, but the reason why I'm mentioning them is that sometimes when these guys post phones, the ones that are locked, they still mention it. But if you don't know about it, you may buy it because they are always cheaper in price. They're always cheaper because imagine we don't have this mentioned networks here in Nigeria. If you buy that iPhone here, it will not work. Even though there's some guys in Computer Village and some guys every other phone place, they will tell you that they can unlock it, but imagine buying it for a customer and the customer is just passing this through whole stress of unlocking and locking. It will not make sense now. They will not really be happy. So that's why I'm mentioning. Then under it, we have factory unlocked. These are just normal iPhones. They're not restricted by any network. They're not owned by any network. So these factory unlocked phones, they don't have any network restriction. They can accept any SIM card worldwide. In fact, immediately after buying it, you can just insert your SIM and start using it. And these are the series I always advise people to buy. So this is one of the questions you always ask a supplier to if you're buying iPhone. Is it restricted? Is it locked? So, but the locked ones are usually cheaper. So that's why you need to be very, very careful. Because many people that are beginning this business, sometimes they accidentally buy these locked phones thinking that they got a very good cheap deal. It is true that there are programmers that can assist you in unlocking it, but I don't advise anyone to buy it. Then the next set we have is the one they call region lock. Region lock, region REGION, region lock. Region lock. Let me zoom my screen so that you'll be seeing because I wrote out all these points. So this region lock is different from carrier lock. Carrier lock. Region lock is there are phones that are made for a particular region. You know, iPhone, they always manufacture according to region. For example, the Chinese version of iPhones don't have so many features. You cannot use FaceTime on it. You cannot use other things. It does not mean that it's a fake iPhone. It's just that the region is region locked to China. So, and the Chinese government does not support this thing. So they built it specially for people in China. There are so many of it. You have the Japanese version, you have the US version, you have the UK version. I'll still mention them and the different codes that you will use to know these versions. I'll still mention all of them in this class. I'll still mention them. So you have to be very careful about that region lock. Imagine buying a phone for someone and it's not doing FaceTime. Somebody that does not really know about iPhone, they will start accusing you of selling a bad phone to them. So you need to another thing that can determine the price difference is the storage size. Storage size, it may look simple to you, but it is not simple to other people. Some people don't even know that there's something like storage size. By storage size, I mean phones that come with 64 gig, 128 gig, 256 gig, and 512 gig. And the reason why we should be careful about this thing is because iPhone don't come with memory slots. So imagine getting a 64 gig storage space phone for a customer, and the next month they begin complaining to you. So it's not always nice. So it's good that you explain in details for them. I mean, I don't even advise anybody to buy any phone, even if it's not iPhone. I don't advise anybody to buy any phone right now below 256 gig because it's not going to serve you. Especially now that everybody is social media conscious and all, it's not going to serve you. I always advise getting phones of above 128 gig from 256 gig up. You understand? So these are the small factors. We still have so many. We have a truckload of them, but we'll be talking about them one after the other. So let's move to the next page. Let's start talking about we'll start talking about these factors one after the other. So the first one we'll talk about, I've already mentioned it, but I just want to illustrate to you, is how to know a refurbished phone. That's a phone that has been worked on, an iPhone that has been worked on, and the one that is good, and also to tell you the one that is good to buy. So study these two pictures now that you're seeing on your screen. Let me zoom it out.
Yeah, I take video now, okay?
Let me zoom it out, sorry. Yes, let me zoom it out so you see. Now this is the first picture. In this first picture, I want you to study the two pictures. These two pictures are iPhone 11 Pro Max. So sometime last year, I've been doing gadgets importation. One of the people that subscribed to the class wanted to try out after the class. In fact, she began posting and she got a guy, a customer, I think from Lagos. The guy wanted to buy so many, I think 4 pieces of iPhone. So I don't know. After deliberating with the supplier, she sent me this picture. Thank God she sent me this picture. I immediately alerted her to these parts that you're seeing. Parts and service history. Let me try to highlight it. This place now that you're seeing parts and service history. This place. Can you see it? So that place you're seeing display genuine Apple parts. Genuine Apple parts. That thing shows that this phone is refurbished. It's refurbished. But it was changed. In fact, it was returned directly to an Apple store and they used genuine parts for the fixing. But it's not still good when you have options because I know Nigerians, Nigerians and their team. They may be using it, but one day they will carry it to somewhere. So, someone after looking at it will tell them that they resold a refurbished iPhone and it becomes a problem. Now look at this other one. Sorry, let me wipe that off. Look at this other phone. So when I alerted her, she now had to talk to the supplier. The supplier now changed it to this one. And so this is how your about page should look like if your phone has not been worked on. Can you see that? So your phone has not been worked on. This is how it will look. Do not write anything about parts and service history. Parts and service history. Do not write anything about that. So it should be clean like this. So I alerted her. The supplier now gave her this one. Can you see somewhere down there? You will see this. Excuse me. Let me pause and answer this call. So let's continue. I wanted to show you that thing I just talked about, carriers. Can you see this one? This one is factory unlocked because it's writing no SIM restrictions. If there's a restriction there, it will write the particular network that owns this series of iPhone. So this is the first thing that you should do. Always confirm if this particular phone has been worked on by checking if it is refurbished or not. Please, it is very, very, very important. So let's move over to the next slide.
Yeah, I check video now, okay?
So let me pause this video. Let me pause. How will I
check
pause
video
it?
now, okay?
Okay, so now look at your screen. Look at your screen very, very well. Let's teach something else. So battery health. You can see where it was shown, battery health and charging. Battery health is one of the biggest causes of complaints when people buy phones, especially used iPhones, because that's what most everybody buys. But iPhone, iPod, they don't really reproduce. Even right now, you cannot see any brand new from 15 now. I can manage to see 16 up. So almost all iPhone, if I buy an iPhone now and it's less than 16, you are definitely getting a used iPhone. So most of the complaints that people get is tied around this battery health. So I want us to understand something. A phone can look very, very clean and still have a very weak battery. And a weak battery will always frustrate the buyer and it will affect you as the seller, because when they complain, they will still come back to you to complain. So one important thing you should know when buying used iPhones is that it's not advisable to buy a phone having a battery health of 100%, because come to think of it, a genuinely used phone with its original battery on a normal day will not still be at that level 100% because it has been used. In most cases, when you see this 100%, it means that the other battery, the original battery that was inside there, has been replaced, or maybe it was sold, or they boosted it to scam people that don't know about this trick. Anytime you are buying used phone and you see 100% battery capacity, please run away, because it's not even possible for a phone that has been used for a cycle count. I'll still talk about cycle counts. I'll tell you what it is. For a phone that's having cycle count of 400 and the battery capacity is 100%. No. It is not. It is not possible. It is not possible. It is not possible. So always look out for this. If you're buying a used phone, it's advisable to compare the battery health with the cycle count. The safe range to look at for should be at least 85% to 95%. That way it tells you that battery is the original battery that came with the phone. And there's no way you compare the original battery that came with the phone with all those batteries that they put out there to deceive people. So that same lady that the supplier gave that iPhone, I still rejected that second one that the supplier brought because the battery is having 100%. So please always look out for these things. Look out, it's not just about buying phone. Not about buying phone. 1 month somebody is calling you, that phone you sold to me is this, that phone you sold to me is this. No, look out for these things. Look out for these things. So always compare this battery health to this thing. So after I complained, let me now play that video. After I told her to check it, the supplier now changed it. If you listen, she's not calling out the battery because she bought 4. I see. She now changed it to all this 96, 95. So what these guys, let me pause it. What these guys do is that if you're buying from them for the first time, they'll try to give you all those ones that people that know, all those big guys in Nigeria that buy quantity, all those ones that they rejected because they know about phone. They'll try to sell it to you first. But when you show them that you have 1 or 2 ideas about the phone, they will not bring these ones. Do you know what happened after she bought it? She now told her that price that she gave her for this 100% capacity is small, that she has to top up 100 RMB. So you see, they know all these things, but they'll keep quiet. So it's good you check these things. It's good. Let me take this call. So let's continue. So they should always send you a video of confirmation. They should always send you a video to confirm these little things. They should always send you a video. There's no way a used phone with multiple cycle counts can still have 100% battery efficiency. If you studied physics here, you understand what I'm saying. There's no way it can still have that 100%. So check out most guys that sell, the real people that sell iPhones in Nigeria. You will notice all these things. So let's talk about the cycle count. So before I talk about this cycle count, I saw this complaint on Facebook. I saw this complaint that somebody made about the iPhone that she bought on Facebook. I brought it, so we'll study it together. I will show you what the trick that the people that sold this phone did on her and how to avoid it. So let me read out the complaint. She said, I just remembered when I wanted to buy my phone last year. I got a 16 Pro Max, 1 terabyte. They showed me whatever details from iUnlocker. I don't know if it was manipulated. I opened it, went to the about, and saw warranty expired 2 months earlier. They were still arguing that it was new. I checked battery health. It was 100%, but battery cycle count was 116. One battery cycle equals to 100% of your battery's total capacity. I had to show these details and they didn't argue. The supplier said he bought them as new. I'm just thinking about a lot of people that have bought used phones thinking that it was new. So you see the thing now. You see the thing now. There is no way. Most if you go to, in fact, if you go to buy phone, it's not even only from outside. You should open your eyes. These guys do the most. They do. You see all those guys in Computer Village, all those guys in Onitsha, they do the most. And if you're not informed, you'll buy a bad phone. You'll be carrying about a bad phone and you don't know that you're carrying a bad phone. So there is another important thing that they call battery cycle. Battery cycle. Battery cycle. You can see where she mentioned it here. This particular thing, so many people don't know about it. You see this battery cycle counts. It's very, very important. So many people don't know about it, and I want to mention it to you. And they will not show you. Even these Chinese suppliers, they will not show you until you ask about it. The real truth is that iPhone battery health is always a measure of the battery cycle count. A battery